In the complex universe of imaginative prose, an unexpected trend which has well-meaning intentions strikes a disconcerting chord, a disquieting enigma that feels unnecessarily riffling across the landscape of creative expression. It's as imposing as it is irking, casting a shadow over those authors whose validation of their craft hold more weight for them than some extraneous act of self-classification. This necessity to have a self-label casts a pallor of unease. It's a demand that is as ironically antiquated in its purpose as it is outwardly progressive. An unsettling requirement to cage ourselves within rigid borders of self-identity that seems glaringly out of place when being examined for our writing in this modern age. Characters in the fictional realm birthed by their creative minds transcend the constraints of gender and personality, even humanity itself, existing in spaces unfettered by societal norms. So to impose on an author the obligation to categorize themselves feels like a distraction that interferes with the sanctity of the creative process. It's a niggling disruption that taints the view of the work and art that should stand on its own merits, without the unnecessary intrusion of additional self-classification. Let's delve into this mystery through an inner dialogue. The voice in your head, let's call it you, who says, "You have to also submit your pronouns." To which me, the other voice in your head, responds, "What do you mean your pronouns?" You explains, "It says here in the guidelines that you must include them when you submit your work." Me, feeling blindsided, asks, "Am I offending people if I don't?" And you, being the realistic voice in this dialogue, responds, "Probably." In a tidal of sudden plaguing distress, me is left drowning in feelings of constraint, a sentiment that you struggles to comprehend. Why on earth do you feel constrained? You questions, bewilderment seeping into each word. It's a beacon of liberation for the LGBTQ+ community. Me responds with gentle clarification. You're fully aware I bear no ill will towards that community. My friends, they are part of that group. You, ever the probing voice, raises another question. So what would C&S say about this? And me, after a moment of contemplation, murmurs, they'd most likely find it amusing. They are well aware I hold no judgment towards them, yet the world obviously does. Now, I find myself on the precipice of being judged by the pronouns I choose. Oh, the biting irony, they'd laugh. Confronted with this conundrum, you asks, what should we do then? Me admits, I don't know, I feel weird about it, you know. Me agrees. Yeah, some publishers encourage authors to use pen names or just their initials just to reach a bigger audience. You finds more irony. You mean everybody judges books by the author's genders first, anyway? Me, feeling a bit peeved, says, exactly. Wouldn't it have been way more fun if we were all just called it or nothing, identifiable by our writing alone? At least then we... You interrupts. You mean I could be you? In this internal dialogue, the unsettling requirement is the act of self-identifying pronouns in the literary world. It's an act that feels liberating for some, yet constraining for others. It's a nuance that irks and intrigues, highlighting the irony of being judged by pronouns, when one should be identified primarily by their writing. And in that realization comes the revelation that you could be me and me could be you. Because in the world of writing, aren't we all just voices telling stories?